There is a type of creature in the world. They were discovered by a few people. However, its existence has not been confirmed. We collectively refer to these organisms as unidentified mysterious animal, unidentified organism, abbreviation UMA. Hello everyone, welcome to the UMA video series. Humans yearn for the ocean. It's not just about being fascinated by the azure appearance. More than anything, there is the silence of the deep sea, yet an unknown territory, surging with primal life force. The complex plot. In previous works, we have learned of something beyond human comprehension. Sightings of large invertebrate zooplankton, unknown marine life beneath the abyss. It has always been a fascinating topic. Today's topic, it is a kind of giant jellyfish, unknown sea monsters that became popular on the internet a few years ago. Black carpet. The black carpet is a tradition among deep-sea divers. A very widespread legend. As the name suggests, it is usually described as aggressive social animals. It looks like a giant piece of black coral, densely attached to the seabed. It appears to be composed of multiple differentiated cells, nutrients from lawyers using tens of thousands of tiny tentacles, or hunt other fish. No one can accurately estimate its size. I only know him. It can produce a sound similar to a beep. Sometimes it moves with the direction of the sea current. The name Black Carpet first appeared in the United States on the country's Clover Channel forum in a post discussing grouper. However, the original link to the forum is no longer valid. The archive information I found so far from Tamberla, social networking, a blogger called Weird Catalog. Here, I would first suggest Thief Brubert. Bloop is a product of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. In 1997, in the South Pacific, using underwater listening array, an ultra-low frequency was detected, high-voltage underwater acoustic signal. There is speculation about its possible origin from some kind of super-large marine creature. Under this post from May 25, 2020, an anonymous diver. This voice was expressed with great certainty as coming from Black Carpet due to the content expressed in the post, involving other replies, and all posts were made anonymously. So, here I will quote the words of the main speaker. A summary was made from a first-person perspective. To make it easier for everyone to understand, the following is a key excerpt from the original statement. Black carpets and jellyfish have many similarities. The difference is that its antennae point upwards. I once spoke with a retired diver. He said, I once saw a whole head of perfume that was rotting, swallowed by the black carpet. Below is what I know about machine encounters. The first story comes from a Finns with a heavy accent. He was repairing underwater cables in the deep sea at the time. But when he dived to the seabed, however, no cable was found. Later, they found an endpoint that had been severed. The other end is half a mile away. The entire route in between has completely disappeared. He believed it was the black carpet that did it, because he heard that beeping sound. The second paragraph describes a submarine crew member as the main character. He was halfway down the dive. Then I heard about a kind of pipa, like the sound of a million shrimp shells shattering at the same time. As we descend, the sound grew louder and louder, and just as they turned on the searchlights to observe, suddenly the seabed seemed to come alive. It moved along the side of the submarine into the distance. He described the black carpet is at least 1 square mile in size. It is mainly composed of some strange black tentacles. The top was covered with sand, rocks, and other object fragments. Besides the antennae, there are also some transparent tubular structures protruding from above. Some of them are up to 20 feet long. At last, it emits a strange bursting rope-like sound. The operator did not stay long. He returned to the surface, citing equipment malfunction. A few hours later, when he dived back to the same position, I just happened to see this object disappeared from sight. The original author once mentioned the above description of the black carpet. Perhaps it's already about its texture and atmosphere. The most accurate presentation, but words ultimately require imagination. In order to let everyone, you can more intuitively feel the shape of the black carpet. I specifically extracted the key parts of the description. Visualization was performed using nano AI. The process was much more convenient than I had imagined. I only need something like this. Copy and paste some descriptions to him. He will then expand the content himself. And in terms of video format, after style and other factors are solicited and confirmed, automatically generate storyboard audio. With Wensheng, the sequence of images, audio, and video forms a complete workflow. Under normal circumstances, from submitting a text description to generating a complete video, just the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee, completely breaking the traditional video production process, which took several days. Even a time barrier of several weeks, whether it's supplementing with content creation materials, product promotion, short film production, or is it a creative expression of personal interests? Nano AI can easily handle it. If you are not satisfied with the generated content, you can also open the Nano AI desktop client. Edit or regenerate storyboard content at any time. It's so convenient. Interested friends in front of the screen, why not open Nano AI now? Enter your creative text, personal experience, the efficiency and magic of turning a sentence into a video. Turn your ideas into a piece of writing. Now participating in production, you could also participate in the Nano AI Film King competition. Chance to win more benefits. Encourage your brothers to come and try Nano. Part 3. It's an old, tired story from the diving world. It means there was a submarine during the war. The crew heard a noise during the descent. At first, they thought it was enemy military equipment. But as the sound from the sensor grew louder, everyone started to feel something was wrong. The captain believed this originated from some kind of new jamming technology, so he ordered the soldiers to give a signal, trying to locate the noise worker. The latter quickly responded with sonar. Show student source, located about 10 meters below the submarine, on the seabed. The captain grumbled as he inspected the books. Because of the current depth, it should still be about 200 meters from the seabed. After the second order to collect was issued, they discovered that the seawater had changed again. By the third probe, the seabed has returned to the expected depth. The captain personally inspected the panel. The screen showed rear of the submarine. A very, very large point appeared, gradually moving away from the submarine, and it took away that strange noise. The above is the key description from the Clover Forum. This post appeared half a month later, June 6, 2020. An article titled "The Legend of the Deep Sea Black Tank" appeared on the Arag Community Forum. The author is also this anonymous diver. The first description appears above the information from BRUP. The journal of a deceased biologist is said to be based on this. The following is a brief summary. A biologist during research, through water purification, repeatedly listening to a spermatophora stem, makes unusual sounds, frequency lower than normal. It may belong to a new subspecies. At the same time, he had been observing a group of orcas for a long time. Behavior becoming increasingly anxious. One of them, a male whale named Mafu, mysteriously disappeared. Despite being able to continuously hear, from 7 layers underwater, the sound of pain. However, the whale pod repeatedly prevented researchers from diving to investigate. After forcibly adjusting the depth, scholars discovered muffler, trapped by a strange, semi-transparent substance, unable to move. Just as he was trying to cut the bundle with a knife, suddenly felt a sharp pain while being bound. General paralysis. Then it was met with some similar. The structure of the tentacles was dragged towards the seabed. I was horrified to see the entire seabed seemingly writhing. A terrifying creature resembling a sea anemone, emerging from sediment. Instead of slowly closing in, just as he was about to be devoured, the entire pod of orcas suddenly plunged into the seabed. With amazing strength and flexibility, it disrupted the organism's storage structure, chewing up large amounts of sediment. The partially paralyzed researcher was pushed to the surface. He was assisted in completing the stress reduction process. The log ended with the mention. This creature then began killing large numbers of salmon. But it's not practical. This led to a famine among the sperm population. The author vowed to stop it all. But the log ends here. The biologist then disappeared without a trace. The next number is still the same number of dives by this diver. The reason I am here to make such bold remarks, it was entirely because of someone I met 6 years ago. Old Navy. He was my assistant diving instructor at the time. We are very good friends. I know he had been studying some strange materials. Jellyfish-like sea cliff, biological structures, including reports in early print media about being fished, mysterious marine animals caught by the ship, etc. Until later, he then revealed to me a story from a sonar soldier comrade's experience. He was on a mission in the South Pacific at the time. Using sonar, received a signal that almost defies logic. He was enormous. Its incredible size makes it difficult to pinpoint its location. He seemed to be in a semi-hollow state. Its overall extent is estimated to exceed 1,000 feet. Heading toward the ship at a speed of 6 to 10 knots. Directional movement. This comrade quickly reported the situation to his superiors. Soon, the submarine was ordered to turn and try to avoid the thing. Despite the rapid response, but they still bumped into each other. The impact caused the ship. The crew members felt a noticeable pushback. After the ship floats on the water, they found that the propeller was covered in organic slime. The sample was later taken back for alkaloid gene analysis, but they directly said it was a sea cliff. But the most shocking, it is always the size shown by the sonar. This old naval friend, always trying to find the truth about life. That's how I first learned about Haizun and the concept of the individual. Summer of 2002. Finally, I had the chance to attend a game in the suburbs of Florida. Marine biologist lecture discussed these ideas face-to-face with the two scholars. They talked about the 1990s. A series of powerful underwater sounds were recorded. But what creatures are several times larger than blue whales? At this moment, he immediately asked if it was possible for Haizun to happen. The first scientist said it was absolutely impossible, but another person gave a different answer. This indicates that if Haizun evolved into a structure similar to an air sac, add some muscle attack vibration, it is theoretically possible. The simpler the organism, the faster they evolve amazing features, the better. Just like a blue dragon could never evolve out of the Great Wall, and creatures like insects and jellyfish, their anatomical structures vary greatly. How quickly one can change oneself, yet it always amazes people. Later, he also learned about the concept of an individual animal. This also enabled him to gradually piece together. He believes in the nature of life lurking on the seabed. He said, "This thing exists for most of life. Many are similar to inconspicuous sea diamonds. It might even be someone we already know. A species, but occasionally under certain favorable conditions, it will trigger some kind of extreme morphological change, forming a super sea diamond. Of course, a problem arises here. Why, for a creature to evolve such an ability? What are the advantages?" Later, he realized the problem with the energy source. The deep sea lacks food. There weren't enough prey there to provide for us in the diving area. Large active predators seen. After extensive research and communication with scientists, he learned some organisms do not derive their energy from the sun. Instead, it comes from deep-sea hydrothermal vents, the main producers in this peculiar food chain. It is the Century Army. He Gyujun, a scientist, proposed to him, if the hypothetical super-sea monster were to be compared to these century-old armies, a symbiotic relationship was formed. He might be able to directly utilize chemical substances as an energy source. Thus, it grows to a size far exceeding the normal size. This skips the energy loss in the regular food chain. If we add legal action, this creature can, obtaining energy far exceeding normal levels in the deep sea. As for why this is done, it is obvious that the Super Sea Lord is more robust. It has a more powerful jet propulsion capability, capable of long-distance movement. Search for new hydrothermal vent areas. It absorbs the sediment from the eruption to nourish itself. And in the weeks before his death, completed many such journeys, widely spread to future generations. He specifically emphasized that this thing is semi-rigid. It has some kind of skeleton, or maintain the overall collagen series. Bacteria may need extreme stress to survive. If Super Sea Lord venture into dangerous waters, bacteria will die in large numbers. This leads to the separation and disintegration of the entire structure. The author is at the end. The experience of a marine biologist was also mentioned. When he was conducting natural research using remote control equipment by a mysterious giant chicken-skinned animal, I tried a submersible. He remembered. There was a long, thin thread in front of the animal. He was just operating the submersible's arm. A thin thread was poked. The device lost contact. He speculated that it was on Earth, the earliest descendants of invertebrates, one of the oldest life forms. But that's not a siphonophore. In terms of appearance, it's more like a completely unknown life form. A social animal similar to a siphonophore. Its individual cells may be more complex than those of siphonophores. They are also more capable, but considering they lack a central nervous system and the brain, it may utilize high frequency vibration for interpersonal communication. His theory holds that this flat-footed creature, Russian nesting dolls that resemble jellyfish, that beeping sound, in fact, it is millions of individual organisms using primitive languages, results of the exchange. In addition, siphonophores can reproduce asexually. Therefore, the size and shape of the blanket, it will change depending on the environment and energy. Perhaps after consuming certain large marine animals, it will become very large. The above is what was discussed on the forum at that time. Mention all the key points of the black carpet. The author describes as a species living on the seabed, large marine fauna, and indicated that the official later used ice to chill. To explain Rupert's statement, I expressed doubt. Those sounds all came from near the fault zone. And this might just be one of those super creatures. Location of activity. TZ quickly began to spread online. The word blame itself evokes a lot of wild speculation. In other phases, creepypasta, on forums such as Reddit, the term black carpet has also become a hot topic. A relatively complete description, combined with the ocean's inclusiveness. People began to wonder if it was even possible. However, from my personal perspective, the possibility of a so-called black carpet existing is very low. Firstly, regarding the description, the shape of the black carpet, similar to existing deep-sea communities, there are indeed some similarities. Carpet anemones need no introduction. Besides size, swimming, and aggression, there is almost no difference between the two. Others like seashells. It is a species of organism under the subphylum Myxopoda. Irregular shape, usually like a bag or bottle. Adult solidification. On the seabed, greenstone-like aggregate structures formed in areas such as the bottom of the ship. Haizun is a type of sea cliff. It is usually barrel-shaped or zun-shaped. The difference is that it is a planktonic individual. They can be connected into long, chain-like groups, moved by pumping water and greenstone, plankton, and marine blood. These organisms all exhibit characteristics of social and symbiotic coexistence. Countless tiny individuals make up a huge whole. Coordinated movement and foraging, theoretically speaking. If these kinds of animals, can they really be with the century army in the deep-sea ecosystem? Formation of symbiosis. It is indeed possible to break through conventional energy limits, developed to be extremely long and complex. But this is just speculation. At present, we have not yet discovered any large fish that can actively put themselves at a disadvantage, or groups of creatures that interfere with ships. As for the so-called beep-beep sound, I've never even heard of it. I think the reason why black carpets attract people's attention is more. It exploits humanity's fear of the unknown deep sea and piecing together known biological characteristics. After being fermented and spread online, it was shaped into a huge, unified biological image. It can be said, all sources of information about the black carpet, neither is clear. We are now searching online. In the end, you'll still end up in the archives of these forums. Even before the 2020 post, the most similar information appears on the internet. Perhaps only reports of giant jellyfish, compared to unidentified organisms. This is more like a newly emerging urban legend. Of course, this is just my personal guess. Despite the current, there is no evidence to support the use of black carpets. the existence of this creature, but I believe there must be in the ocean life forms that we cannot currently understand. In those extreme ecological environments, quietly awaiting human excavation. Finally, the atmosphere reached this point. As I always say, position is forever, greater than food. This is also the charm of UMA. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.